Now, Correctional Services says that Janusz Waluś will be released on parole as soon as his medical condition has improved. Let's take it all the way back to 1993. What exactly do we know about what happened on the Easter Saturday of the 10th of April when Waluś killed Chris Hani? And what kind of support base does the Polish assassin have in his home country? Our reporter Nic Andrsen set out to answer some of those questions.
The court will now adjourn. Thank you.
The Constitutional Court order to grant Janusz Waluś parole left many South Africans stunned.
This judgment is diabolical. Totally diabolical.
The 69-year-old killed SSCP leader Chris Hani in April 1993 and was initially sentenced to death before the new constitution commuted the sentence to a life behind bars. Waluś became eligible for parole in 2005, but the Department of Correctional Services and the Justice Minister kept denying his requests. So let's recap what happened in 1993 and in the immediate aftermath. Waluś shot and killed Hani outside his Boksburg home during the Easter weekend of that year. He approached Hani outside the home before pulling the trigger several times at point-blank range. The Polish national was arrested after one of Hani's white neighbors saw Waluś driving away and noted the number plate. Waluś eventually confessed during a lengthy interrogation after he thought he had found an apartheid police officer sympathetic to his cause. The Truth and Reconciliation Commission went on to deny his request for amnesty at the dawn of democracy. So what happens now? It's been confirmed that Waluś will not be deported back to Warsaw. Home Affairs Minister Dr. Aaron Motsoaledi confirmed this week that Waluś has been granted temporary residence in South Africa. This then allows him to serve out his 2 years parole here with certain conditions. The idea of him flying back home and becoming a free man again didn't sit well with many. But despite the thoughts of South Africans, Waluś does have his fair share of support back home in Poland. This is a photo from a football match in Poland. Waluś's face is seen on the banner and is a revered figure among many far-right supporter groups in his home country. His claims that he killed Hani to stop the spread of communism has made him a cherished figure amongst groups just like this. Some of Waluś's Polish supporters have even written letters to him during his time behind bars in South Africa. So is the support for Waluś merely down to the anti-communism links? Polish anti-fascism expert Rafał Pankowski says it's a bit more complicated than that.
It is a more general illustration of the growth of the racist and neo-fascist movements of the far right, both in Poland and in other countries in Europe and beyond. Especially in the region of Central and Eastern Europe today, there is a growing authoritarian and xenophobic tendency, and there is also an element of acceptance for political violence, and I think Janusz Waluś becomes a symbol of that growing acceptance of far right violence.
Down with the parole of Janusz Waluś, down!
So while Justice Minister Ronald Lamola and Correctional Services wait on Waluś's health to determine when exactly will begin his parole, the painful reaction from much of the South African public will certainly not fade into the background. For Newzroom Afrika on Channel 405, I'm Nic Andrsen in Johannesburg.